Hi, this is a sort of sequel to an attempt I made a couple weeks ago. It was almost exactly 2 weeks ago that I opened up my American Girl display case by Brickcase, as you can see right here. And as I was putting it together, when I was having a lot of difficulties, I discovered they didn't send me all the correct parts to put it all together. I have the parts they sent me back here. So they're four identical pieces instead of two pieces. That's a lot of glare, I'm sorry. Instead of two pieces that interlock into the other two pieces. So it's like instead of having a front and a back and two sides, it was four sides or all fronts and backs. So when I contacted them, I sent them the pictures and explained that was waiting because I was doing an unboxing video. And I expected them to just send me the parts that I was missing, but they sent me an entire new brick case. They said it would be easier than going through all their inventory to find the missing parts. So that meant I had to drive, because I had to have this shipped to America, because it's free shipping, and they're really expensive to ship to Canada. So I had to make a second trip back, and that's why it took a little longer than it probably should have, or than they were expected to. They emailed me this morning, so I was like, okay, let me put it together. No more dilly-dallying. And when I did the first unboxing, I really struggled with this part. So I removed the tape before I started. So I don't know if that's a little cheat or not, but I didn't want to go through that again. So it's a box inside another box. And this is going to get a little messy, but that's okay. And I'm hoping that because I already did this once before, I'll be a little bit better now. I won't be quite as spazzy as I felt the last time. Ooh, it was easy. For one thing, I'm going to check and make sure it's two different sets of parts. I feel like they... Give me 1 second, you know? I'm not kidding. I'm probably just being paranoid. But it looks like this has two different parts in it, and that's two of the same parts in it. And that the same parts are the ones I already have back there. Oh no. Just paranoid. They do look different. I guess this set, I haven't seen these ones yet, because the ones that I received before were all the same. So I didn't know what they even looked like. Okay, yeah. I keep looking over my shoulder to make sure they're not the same ones. Oh, I know what the difference is. The top is in here. So anyway, the reason I wanted to get this set is because this display case is because I have a custom Tiana doll here who is, I guess, like a special edition doll to me, because not only did I put her together, so I'm just double checking because trust issues. Because not only did I put her together, you know, I use not really expensive materials, but I like mishmashed a couple different outfits together, and I used Swarovski crystals. So I don't want her getting too dusty. She's been exposed to all the elements in my apartment, dust. So that's why I was so eager to get her into this. Okay, can confirm I have 4 different pieces. Low key, I was hoping I'd have 4 of the other pieces, because then I would have 2 full brick cases. Okay, so now that I've got all that out, I should get Tiana out of the way, because if I thought I had a problem with dust, I'd feel even more upset if I got her actually dirty. Just putting on, they send you white gloves to handle the acrylic, so sometimes I use it to handle my dolls too. And let me get this out of here. This was the incomplete one, if that wasn't obvious. I'm sure it was. And now I can tell you what comes inside the box. Aside from the top panel and the 4 acrylic panels, you're going to get the base that I just had on my table. And I feel like a little bit of an expert at this now because of putting a bad one together on camera, a good one together beforehand, the bigger one. Because I was trying to say earlier that they make 2, I don't know if I said it, but they make 2 sizes. And I have to throw this down. Give me 1 second. Not too loud. All right, and in this orange bag is what I didn't consult with last time, but it's the instructions that don't really matter. They're very generic. As you can see, it's not even the same type of display case, so it's fine. It's pretty, when you have the right pieces, it is pretty obvious how everything goes together. Like I said, they send you the white gloves. They send you, this is because it lights up, so they send you the electronic parts. And I should have 6 of these, but if I don't, it's okay. Oh, they're already on, they're already attached. See, the trust issues. But I just want to like make it very clear that they were so nice about it, and you know, they didn't put up any kind of fuss. And like I said, they followed up with me this morning, and I was the bad guy who was like, "Oh, I just got back." I didn't say, I just said, "Oh, I told them that I picked it up on the weekend, and that I would set it up tonight." So that was good. And in my last video, I wasn't worried because I knew they would make good on the mistake. I just kind of, I guess you could say, I hoped they would only send me the missing parts so that I wouldn't have to go through customs with this again. And when I went through customs this time, I had so much stuff on me. I'll explain that more in a minute. So everything has this like protective layer over it. So I'm going to start by removing this, because to build it, you have to build it around what you're putting on display. And these are the lights up here. So when I went through the border, I had Mary Ellen's diner with me, and it was in such a big box that it wouldn't fit into my trunk, which is usually where I put everything. You know what? I should put the gloves on too. Wipe this down. You know, usually I conceal everything in my trunk, and when they ask what I have and how much I spent, they don't really see it, so I guess it doesn't look as bad as it was when I went through on the weekend. So I just want to make sure the switch is in the right place, which for me is okay on that side. Sorry, because there's a switch here, and then there's, so you want the plug, okay. Sorry, back to what I was saying. So this time I went through, and I was going to, you know, do the whole honest thing and say how much I'd spent on, because it was already a lot that I had spent. And then I was going to explain, I was going to ask, like, should I claim this even though it's a free replacement? Because, you know, when you get there, they ask how much did you spend? And I didn't want to be like, you know, try to pull a fast one and then get blacklisted, and then I'm getting checked every time I go there, because I go a lot. So I was going to ask, but then the commotion with the Mary Ellen diner, it just slipped my mind. And I'm not just saying that, it really did. So I don't know if you have to claim a free like replacement when you're coming back to the border. So it's like, I wasn't just asking because, to be honest, I actually really did want to know. So another thing I mentioned in the last video when I first attempted this is this film, the protective film, it's going to cause so much static. And when I put it on the big one that I have over on the other side of the room, all the dolls I put into the case, their hair stood on end. But Tiana's hair is up, so I don't know if it's going to have any kind of effect. I'm trying not to damage anything, even though I have 4 other panels of this kind, yeah. Let me put on the gloves. They're just really awkward. Especially with like when I'm pulling off the, oh, I need 2 gloves. When I'm pulling off the film. Hope I don't have to leave these on the whole time. So what I discovered when I was putting this together afterward is these tabs are longer on this side, so that's how you know it's the bottom. But I don't think, aside from getting the longer tabs on the bottom and the shorter tabs on the top, it really matters. I forgot to take off these. I don't know what you call them, a clasp, a screw. I guess it's kind of like a screw. So usually when you're going through the border, it just depends. I don't know if it depends on who you get, like what kind of a custom agent, what their quota is for the day. If, you know, if I'm traveling alone, I look less suspicious, but I've been really lucky. Why am I saying this out loud? But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping not to go back for a while, because the 2 purchases I thought I was going to have to go back for next month ended up arriving on the day I went. It was so weird, so unexpected. So, you know, hopefully nothing pressing comes out that I need to travel back for at least a little while. Okay, so which one was that? Yes, okay. So here's the other one for the front. Or you know what? Maybe the sides. I'm not too sure what the best order is to put this together because I haven't had all 4 pieces together yet. Okay, let me turn her. Because as I put more and more acrylic in here, the glare is going to get worse and worse. So I'm looking for the longer tabs to put in the front. And because I have this partially complete one over here, I'm going to have to make use of it somehow, like do something with it. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to, I don't know, I guess I'm going to put my Jasmine doll in it. You know, at the end when I get everything put together, I'll put my, well, she's kind of accustomed to, not the same way as Tiana. So I'll put them side by side and show you a better view without all this glare that is about to get very glary. Okay. Yeah, much better when there's no, when there's a side and a sides and front and back. I also need to take the film off of this because I don't know at what point is best to snap these into place. Sorry, it's a little quiet while I figure out the logistics of snapping this all together. Because there's like quite a few moving parts. You've got the poles from the lights, and I don't have to get this perfect. I just want to get it together, you know. It's a little trickier when you have all 4 panels at work. So maybe I should get these snapped together. You get the point, and then I'll just like. Okay, so I think the trick was to put on the back and front, put the top on, and then slide these light poles into the holes at the top, get the screws on just a little bit so that you still have room to come in after and push the side panels in. And then I'm hoping I can just do one side at a time. Yeah, okay, so that did work. Somewhat worked. Maybe when they all get screwed in. You know what? I just want to get all together and I'll make it look better after. Oh, I didn't even take the film off the last panel because it's going to get glary. Is that okay? That's not too bad. I just want to make sure that I'm not blinding anybody who might be watching this. And I was also really concerned because of the size. It was really hard to gauge if she would fit or not with her dress. And it turns out it's actually a perfect fit because it kind of holds everything in place, like her dress, and makes it sit to look like it's even fuller. And so this might be one of those moments of truth where will I be able to do it while I'm recording? This one, the screw on this doesn't go in very nicely, so I put it all the way down. Okay, now it might. Okay, let's pop this last one into place. Like I said earlier, it's like a lot of moving parts, but I'm sure it's easier if you're not worried about doing it quickly. I'm not even using my gloves. Yeah, so I guess once you get the screws going, everything sort of fixes itself. Like everything flattens the way it's supposed to. Except I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this light to stop turning. And then there it is. I'll just plug it in. This is from the older set. I just plugged it in earlier so that I wouldn't have to struggle with getting it. I don't want to, that's the glare I have to be careful of. All right, and then it turns on. And can you even see it with all the glare from the room? I think you can. I can. I'm pretty blinded by it. So there we go. It took a couple attempts and a couple drives to and from America, but now I have it, and I'm going to finesse it off camera a little bit more because it's not sitting perfectly. Not exactly sure what it needs to do that because there are gaps. You know what? When I do I'll do my best to get it perfect, and then I'll do like an overview from behind the camera and give my opinions. But it is a nice it's a nice piece. Oh, and it's $188. Free shipping if you're in the US. And don't even ask how much the shipping is if you're in Canada, because originally I did buy two pieces. So I think it was going to be like $200 to ship it to Canada. Not even an option for anyone, but not for me, especially when I can drive to America. So anyway, let me get it finessed, and I'll put Jasmine in the incomplete one just to have something else to show you. Okay. Okay, so here are the two sets, one complete with Tiana and the other incomplete with Jasmine. But it allows me to put on one side panel, but then obviously there's going to be the gaps. There will be the gaps here because they don't interlock, but it doesn't allow me to put another one on this side. So if I really wanted to pretend I have two complete ones, I can just put this against the wall or even then put them side by side. And the awkwardness why I couldn't get it to snap in place on camera is because you have to make sure that the pole goes through the actual hole at the top in order for this to sit all the way down. And then once you get it, it stays. There's a little gap here because of her hand right here. So when I'll readjust her inside, but I'm really happy with how she fits in there. I think she looks, I mean, she already looked deluxe and now she looks like super deluxe. And I don't know if it was a good idea to do this practically in the dark or if I should have put on some light, but I just wanted the dolls to be shown inside the case. So now I'm happy. I'm gonna let them know that everything took a couple tries, but it worked out. I decided to add on one last clip to show you how they look in the light, which is pretty, but also to let you know that I moved Tiana's hand so that she fits better. And I think it's just, you can't expect perfection. It's still like, has little spaces on both sides, which is, I'm not gonna cry about it or anything, but I just wanted to, give an honest review, opinion, however you want to see it. So just, if anyone is interested, you should probably know that going into it. They're very nice, but they're just products. Nothing's going to be absolutely perfect unless you get somebody to like custom make it in glass, maybe. I don't know. But I still like it, and it sounds like I'm ending on a negative note, but I just wanted to make that very clear. And also I wanted to add that I'm going to put the links to both this size, the individual doll size, and the up to 6 doll, what I call doll scene size, in the description. I'll put links. So if you're curious or if you're interested, that's where they'll be. Otherwise, you can just live vicariously through this video. Okay, that's it. Bye.